I can tell you about my grandmother, rest her soul. You want me to tell you about my grandma?
Yes,
Okay, good. You guys ever heard about getting your temperature taken the old-fashioned way? Chris, you know what that is, right, bud? Chris? Yeah, well, my grandma used to give me, my brother, sister, my cousins, all my cousins, the temperature the old-fashioned way. Is there anybody that doesn't know what that means?
No. What does it mean?
They take a thermometer. Hers name was Tiny. Now, it's like calling a fat guy Slimbo, And she put it in your butt.
What?
Yeah, that's how she took your temperature. She put her hand on your head and say, "Oh, James, I think you're running a little cold. Let's go up to my room." And she'd make me pull my pants down, bend over the bed, she'd shove it in there, and no jelly or nothing, right? It's kind of painful. I don't like using the word rape on stage. Okay, but my little brother, he said not to use the word. He's like, it's not rape, if it's not sexual, But I don't know if she had an erection or not, but I did. Are you done, buddy? What are you doing? So my brother was the youngest of all the cousins and stuff, so he was still a virgin the time that my grandma was watching me and my brother while my sister was getting her first communion with my mom and dad. They went and did that. So then my brother and me were outside playing, and we come inside, and she's like, my brother looked like he had a runny nose or something. She's like, "Here, Brian, come here." And she put her hand on his head. She said, "Oh, I think you're running a little bit cold there, buddy. We're going to have to go out and take your temperature." And I'm like, "Oh, man, he doesn't even know what that means." He's like, "Oh, okay, Grandma." And she's like, "Hey, James, you come too. You might be running a little cold too." And I'm like, fuck, that's not good. So then she takes us up to my mom's bedroom and tells my brother, "Bend over the bed, pull your pants down, around your ankles and your underwear." And he's like, "Why? What for?" She's like, "Just do it." And then she pulled out Tiny, and she shoved Tiny right in there. He's like, "Ah, what's going on? What's happening?" He started crying and screaming. She's like, "Knock it off, And then for the full 90 seconds, he's making eye contact with me and crying. He's like, "Help me, James." I'm like, "There's nothing I can do." He's like, way bigger than me, Playing fetch with a dog, huh? So then,
That's crappy.
she gets done. She's like, "All right, you're good to go. All right, hit the road." She's like, "Your turn, James. You're probably running a little cold too." And I'm like, "Whoa, wait a minute. Are you gonna even wash that thing off? Right?" She's like, "What for?" And I'm like, "What for? F this, man. I'm out of here." And I took off running, and then she's chasing me, We had this laundry chute that takes the laundry all the way down to the basement. I dove into that. We used to play in that thing all the time. And then I heard her coming down the stairs as I'm sliding down. And I stuck to the wall like Spider-Man. And then I started going back up the stairs, the laundry chute while she's going down. I go back into the bedroom when my brother's like curled up in the fetal position, crying, "Why? Why?" And I grabbed Tiny off the dresser. She left Tiny sitting there, big mistake. And I said, "This ends now." And I ran downstairs in my pajama bottoms, and I ran out on the side of the cold and the snow up in Michigan, And I ran out in the backyard, and we had woods behind the house, and I dug a hole in the snow and in the frozen earth, and I put Tiny in there, and that's where Tiny lay, and I covered it up. And that's where Tiny stayed for a while. But then me and my little brother got put in a foster care home, like I told you, because my mom was crazy as hell. And then a couple years we were there, and my mom calls and says, "Hey, James, I just called to break the news to you that your grandma passed away." Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, no. It's over. Finally, it's over. No one's getting raped with thermometers anymore, So, like a year later, I turned 16 and bought a 74 Impala. And I drove it to my old house where I lived before I was in a foster home. And I went in their backyard, and I went out in the woods, and then I dug up Tiny. And I was like, "Let's go for a ride, Tiny." And I put him in the passenger seat, I buckled him in. We drove all the way to Chicago. Oh, you don't believe me, Chuck? I did. I buckled him in. I wanted to be safe. We had a long ride. It's like 3 hours from Grand Rapids to Chicago. So we go there, and then we go to my grandma's cemetery, and I walked up to her tombstone, and I said, "Yeah, rest in peace, Grandma," And I pulled out Tiny, and I put him right on top of her tombstone. I said, "Look who's running a little cold now." Oh! So on the radio